welcome back to Cinema Corner. I'm Blake, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Alex and Josh.
We are back with our staple episodic episodes of Cinematask Volume 4. Just a recap, I had assigned Josh Juror number 2. Josh gave Blake A Marriage Story, and Blake assigned me Judas and the Black Messiah. So, who would like to go first?
What a range.
Yeah, what a wide range of just dramas after drama after drama. I'll start off with my drama. Marriage Story. Netflix only, I believe. It's on Netflix, so I'm saying it's a Netflix only movie. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. This movie came out probably like 2020, I want to say, 2019. Had pretty good hype around it. Basically, a quick little synopsis of this movie. It's you start right in the beginning of it of two characters getting a divorce, Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. And they have I believe he's like 8 or 9-year-old son. And it pretty much just starts right away of them like in a counseling therapy, I guess you could say. Therapy, talking about they're getting a divorce. And then from there, the movie just keeps going. And you see that they're in the very early stages. They still live together in New York, as that's where they are currently, as Adam Driver is a play writer and director, and Scarlett Johansson is an actress who mostly works as the lead in his plays. And you kind of just learn very quickly that Adam Driver's character is not quite like OCD, but he's pretty particular about how he likes things done just in everyday as well as directing plays. And Scarlett Johansson, you kind of learn she was like an actress from Los Angeles. They end up meeting each other, and she decided to live out in New York with him as he had off-Broadway plays, and from there they got married, had a kid. This movie kind of just goes through their divorce, and it starts off like pretty normal divorce, I guess you could, or like not normal, nonchalant, I guess would be a better way of like, they're like, oh, we don't really need lawyers. Like, we want what's best for Benjamin, their son. We want what's best for him. Like, let's not make this really sloppy. Like, we're both going to be able to see him. Like, it is what it is. Like, we can just make this good. And then she ends up getting a role out in Los Angeles where she's from. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to live out there now. And Ben's going to come with me. And he's like, whoa, well, I kind of just got accepted to have my play go to Broadway, so I need to be out in New York. So then from there, kind of end up being like she gets a lawyer, he gets a lawyer, it gets real messy kind of thing. Overall, I mean, this movie doesn't really have like a very big plot, I guess. It's kind of just them going through the stages of their divorce, and at the end they kind of realize, hey, let's just do the divorce the way we should have done it. Like, just you and I will talk things through, we'll do what's best for our kid. Like, we don't need to make this messy. And it kind of just like comes to a conclusion towards the end that they're like still getting a divorce, but like don't hate each other. I don't know, there really wasn't like a big climactic thing that was going through, and there really wasn't like a big resolution. Like, it was kind of just like, yep, as a person who's been a part of a divorce, this looks like divorce, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I don't know. So it wasn't really, I didn't think it was anything special in terms of the storyline or the writing. I feel like a lot of people have at least seen the clip of like kind of the blow up scene where they kind of actually fight like with their words and like yell at each other. That's really the only time that you see them like argue like that. But overall, I mean, this movie, like, it really didn't have much of a plot. It didn't really have much of a big climax kind of thing. It was kind of just like a whatever movie. Something that I kind of thought was weird about it was the acting, actually, as obviously Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are talented actresses and actor. I honestly, at one point, kind of started thinking to myself, is there like a plot twist where this is all a play? Like, the way they were acting and delivering their lines, it felt more like a play rather than a movie. Like, there's just that subtle difference of, it almost feels like when you're in a play, like when you see play acting, like they kind of like wait for a reaction, or it's just like a little bit off, I guess is the easiest way I can like describe it. It felt like that at times. Like, I was like, is this going to be like a plot twist that this is actually all a play or something like that? Because like their acting just didn't feel like a natural movie acting. It felt like play acting, is like they were in a play. and there was an audience watching them. So I thought that was kind of weird because I was like, I really didn't think that the acting was kind of distracting to me at a point. I was like, why are they like the line delivery like that? So yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, this movie really to me was a movie. I really don't have anything like to talk about like, wow, that was really well done in any category. I don't really have anything to like hate on it for, really. Like there was nothing that was like, man, that sucked. It was just kind of like, yeah, I just watched a movie. It was kind of just the when it ended. I was like, yep. So that being said, like 4.5 out of 10. This was nothing special. Nothing I'm going to go revisit. Nothing I'm going to remember for hating. It's just going to be a forgotten movie. That's about it.
Dang. So they only blew up one time throughout the whole film?
Yeah, the scene that, if you've seen the scene of them, that's the only like real big like blow up scene that the two of them fight and like yell at each other acting wise. Besides that, like I said, for the most part, it's pretty calm, I guess. Not anything special in any department.
Dang. Wow. Josh, did you know about this before you gave it to them, or were you just like, hey, I'm
no, you know, when it comes to the series, a lot of times I assign Blake movies that I just haven't had the balls to watch myself, aka just too lazy to. So it really is just my chance to see which one I should actually give a shot. So,
dang, he's your lab rat. That's crazy.
But it made the list. It made the list.
That's absurd.
It will be removed.
That's crazy. You want to go next, or should I?
I guess I'll go next.
Okay.
So Alex, he gave me this movie. It's like Juror number 2. Has Nicholas Hoult in it because he's in everything now. He's continuing that trend into 2025 because we thought 2024 was really his year, but he's continuing it. He's the main character in this film. It quickly gets into things. All right, it immediately tells you what the plot of the film is going to be. There's really no secrecy. There's no plot twist, nothing. It's just this happened, and you're going to see how it's going to end. And that's what you're going to watch for about the next 2 hours. The plot is Nicholas Hoult is a married man, seems to be in a happy relationship. That's at least what it starts off with. And he gets stuck with jury duty. Seems like he has a healthy relationship with his wife. You know, they're kind of bantering. You know, they're definitely white as fuck, but, you know, they're happy. And it doesn't seem like he's the white type of guy to say the N-word. So you're kind of chill with this guy, you know. We're fucking with Matt, you know what I'm saying? Either way, it's not Matt, Mark. Fucking with Mark. Either way, goes in, gets stuck with jury duty, gets picked. And like, okay, is this just going to be like a really intense, you know, trial or something where this man's just, he's going to stand up and defend for justice? And no, actually what you find out is that he is guilty of the crime that is on trial right now. And he is a part of the jury that has to say if the man that's getting charged is guilty or innocent. And as the prosecutors basically and the lawyers are talking, the more it does flashbacks to the scene of what actually happened. And what happened was just an accidental hit and run. So it's basically a boyfriend being accused of killing his girlfriend. And they have a scene in a bar where he kind of gets a little aggressive and drunk, and the woman storms out, and later that woman dies. And it looks like she got brutally beat to death and thrown over a cliff. When in reality, then we see a flashback of our character, Justin, hit something in the rainy night, and he looks and he sees it's a deer sign, and so he assumed he just hit a deer and then went home. And then as he's piecing everything together, because they go by time, date, everything, he's piecing together that, oh shit, I hit something that night in the exact same spot at the exact same time. And then he realized quickly that he killed this woman. And the boyfriend is innocent. And he's got to be part of the jury for this. Now you learn that, of course, this isn't just the main plot. to make more of kind of add into Justin's character. It was the night that his child was supposed to be born, but actually his wife had a miscarriage. So he went to the bar that night to basically drink himself away, but he actually didn't drink and instead was on a rainy night drive home, and he ends up actually killing a woman. So it's just totally tragic for this poor guy. I mean, just Justin. He's going through it, you know. And he thought he'd finally make it past that and add more things to it. His wife's now pregnant again, too. She's supposed to actually have the baby during this trial. So there's just a lot of emotions for this poor man. And then basically the rest of the movie is a struggle of, A, what the fuck does he do about this? B, does he do basically the bad thing that will secure that no one will ever look more into this case and basically convince everyone that this man's guilty? Or does he do the right thing and try to prove this dude's innocence and get everybody on the same board so that way the wrong man doesn't go to jail for basically life because it looks like murder? And that's the entire film. And surprisingly, not one bit did it ever feel slow. I think that's always a big compliment to movies when it comes to trials, and 90% of your film is basically in the court, is if you can make it where it doesn't feel slow as shit or boring for 90% of film, great job. A lot of big actors in this, and what I mean by actors, I'm of course talking about our boy Drew. He was from the Halloween movie, Halloween, I think just the OG one. I don't think he ever made anything other, if any, flashbacks. But, you know, he's the one that has a heart-to-heart with Michael Myers, and then he gets killed later because Michael's just like that. But he's in this film. He's pretty chill. He's funny. He literally only has like 3 lines, I'm pretty sure. But there's a lot of people in this. J.K. Simmons is in this. Apparently, Clint Eastwood's daughter is in this. Didn't know that. No idea. Keith Sutherland, he's in this as well. He plays as a leader of like the AA meetings that the main character Justin attends because he used to be an alcoholic and had a bunch of DUIs, which is another reason why that they couldn't just come out clean, because they would just claim that he was drunk driving that night, even though he didn't drink anything, but he did buy some whiskey. Film goes on, and it's pretty intense. Scenes going on. They're trying to basically claim, everybody on the jury is wanting to say that this guy's guilty because he's all tatted up, you know, and he kind of just looks like a douchebag. So everyone's saying like this dude obviously killed his girlfriend, while Justin is pretty much the only person that's holding this jury by saying that he's innocent. And we find out that J.K. Simmons' character is a detective, and ends up getting him kicked out, and this is where it kind of opens things up. And eventually, the prosecutor, as well as the public defender, piece things together that the boyfriend is innocent, and they end up looking at car, basically repairs that happen around this time, because then the hit and run becomes a popular idea that actually the boyfriend didn't kill her, that it was a hit and run. And there's this pretty intense scene between the prosecutor and Justin, as they obviously know that each other knows what really happened. And they have a good scene, and end of the movie ends without you knowing what really happens. It's one of those films. But it works. One of the few times I think it's actually good. Because it's a trial happens, okay? There's a verdict.
That's not really how it ends, though. What do we mean?
Come on. It does. It does.
It doesn't.
Sure, you can say she's coming back, but you know.
She shows up at his house after the conversation.
I realize that.
It's very clear what happened. You hear sirens as she shows up to his front door.
No, those sirens were not going to his house.
Yeah, but you hear the sirens, and then there's a knock on the door that they pass, and there's a knock on the door, and it's her. It's clearly
those
first.
Sirens weren't being.
Those weren't with her, but I'm
her
saying it's clear showing that.
No,
yes.
no. It's showing that he's tripping, bro.
Nah,
that he's freaking out. Now, I think the movie's all right. I think it was solid. Nothing crazy. Just has fun with an idea. I think plenty of people have thought about of if you were guilty in your own trial, but you're in the jury. Give it a solid 7.8 out of 10. I think it was good. It was all right. Nicholas Hoult, once again, I think just continues to show that he's a great actor. I don't think he had a single bad scene throughout this entire film. See how he does in Superman.
What do you mean, bro? He'll have at least 4 movies come out before that comes out.
I guess, man. I guess. I would say, oh man, what was I going to think about? There was one scene. Oh yeah, okay. So I think the best part, I'll real quick say, is Nicholas Hoult is really good at like bad acting. You know, I think it's really hard when an actor has to pretend like a normal person being bad at acting. And I think the best scene is when what a person would think to do to try to get rid of the detective papers, because the detective found basically a list of all the cars, and that's how this all gets started. Is he purposely drops it so that way a cop would discover the court guard finds it and kicks it out as evidence because it wasn't a part of the actual trial. I think that's definitely one of the best scenes of showing that Nicholas Hoult is really, really good, man. And so I know he's in a lot of films, but I think it's okay because he keeps being great.
Nice. Well, I'm proud to at least have given you like a good solid 7. So the fact you gave it a 7.8 was good. Back to back, giving bangers to both of you guys, at least watchable. Okay, well, my turn. Now, this was a heavy movie. I had Judas in the Black Messiah. Came out in 2021. Stars Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya, among other great actors and actresses. But those are the 2 main ones. And it's based on true events. Which, I mean, it's heavy, man. After the movie ends, you get like the reveal, you know, this like based on true events. Then it kind of cuts to like some real life footage, and it just left me thinking for a while. I'm like, damn, okay, well, that sucks. But in terms of the movie, right? Stellar acting performances, and I found out later that Daniel Kaluuya won Best Supporting Actor for this film, and damn, it showed. He killed it in this movie. So he plays the Black Panther leader, like the Black Panther Party in the early 1960s, and it kind of takes place mid 1960s until it ends like right before the 70s. So it spans a good amount of time. But basically, Lakeith Stanfield, he plays a character. I think his name was Bill. It starts with the movie, which has some amazing camera work, by the way. He's outside of a bar, and he starts to like kind of like, you see him drinking, you see him smoking, you get like the courage to like go inside. You're like, okay, so what's this guy all about, right? And he has this get up to make himself look like an FBI agent. He walks in, he shows his badge, and then he starts to like manhandle some guy for keys, because apparently it says that the car has been like reported missing, so now he has to take it back. And point is, it doesn't work out for him because clearly that was a fake. And this is what he does. He just jacks cars, and this is what he does. He uses that instead of, using a gun or different methods to jack cars. He then gets in trouble with the law, and he meets this FBI agent. I forgot his name, but he's played by Jesse Plemons. I want to say his name is. Yeah. I think he was in Civil War too this past year.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and he also did a really good job in this film. And he pretty much gives him an option: either you go to jail for, I think it was 5 years for impersonating an FBI agent, along with jacking a car, or you take this deal where you become an FBI informant. He takes the deal. He then starts to infiltrate for the FBI. Daniel Kaluuya's character, Fred Hampton, and he starts to make up like the rank of the party. He first starts to like be their driver. He makes it up to be like the head of security, all while he was giving them information of like, oh, this is what they're doing. They're like going to these other parties. They're trying to group up, become this big revolutionary party, especially in the 1960s, for like equal rights. And the FBI sees this as bad. You know, they have to get rid of Fred Hampton. They see him as a radical figure. He needs to be out of the picture. And pretty much you just go throughout like the early 60s with him just constantly giving him information, having to occasionally draw like detailed plans of like the layouts of their hideouts, of like apartments, especially at the very end. And yeah, it's essentially like a betrayal story. You know, he starts to gain the trust of everybody, and he just constantly throughout the whole film just chooses to betray him. And I believe you cut through the movie, you get to see like interview parts of him, and yeah, it's a sad story, man. It's crazy the shit that went down. I mean, at one point, Fred goes to jail, and the police are just the police, especially in those times, open firing on people. They burnt down like the headquarters, and then you see like, you know, he's still alive. He's in jail, but he's still alive. But the impact that for the Daniel Kaluuya's character Fred has on this party, on the community, is in Chicago. It's bigger than just him, because then everybody comes together to like rebuild it back up, and it's just like the FBI sees it as like, okay, yeah, we like putting him in jail is just like a temporary thing. Like he's like, it's not helping like stem this wave of like radical political stuff. And yeah, basically the movie ends with him being told, hey, we need you to put this stuff in his drink, and then we'll take care of the rest. So he goes to this little gathering, and you just see Lakeith Stanfield's character Bill just like pretty much breaking down in tears, and it's like some amazing acting performance from him, and you can tell he doesn't want to do it, but he has no choice, because it's either that or he's jail time for life or die. So either one, he wasn't gonna survive this. So he did what he's been doing the whole movie, betrays him, gives him the drink. You don't see it happen. Like, he just walks out, drives away. Then the FBI raids the apartment, kills a few people, including Daniel Kaluuya's character, and he leaves behind a widow, basically. And yeah, it was a sad story, sad story, but well acted, well directed. Like I said, some of the shots, like, they lingered on him a lot. So he would drive up to the hideout, he'd like get out of the car, and they would linger on from like the shot of like the rear of the car, and you just see that these like long shots. It wasn't choppy. It was very well directed, well edited, well acted. And yeah, like I said, I was left speechless, and I was just thinking a lot, like, at the very end of the movie. In terms of a rating, though, this was a 9.2 out of 10. This was a really good movie. And afterwards, you get to see like what effects it had. And I also looked up the movie and saw, one, it came out in 2021, and two, it's like a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, damn, yeah, that it makes sense. He won Best Supporting Actor. All well deserved, if not more. I feel like look, he definitely deserved Best Leading Actor. I don't know who won that year, but I feel like he definitely should have had at least very, very close consideration for 2021. But yeah, that was it's a good movie. Really, really good movie.
To add to that, if his name was Bill, that guy who he came forward, I believe it was with 60 Minutes. He then did a sit down later in his life to tell all the events of how the FBI put him up to everything he did. And the day he did one interview to tell everything that happened. And the day it aired on national TV, once he knew that story came out of all his betrayal, he then killed himself.
Yeah.
Because he was so sick of what he did to the entire community because of what he did to the Black Panthers, bringing them down, that he finally came out and said everything he did, like the FBI put me up to all this, like all of his regret. And then as soon as he knew that it actually was coming out and that people were going to learn about his truth, he's like, okay, now I can finally kill myself because of all the guilt that I had for my entire life ever since doing that.
Yeah, I believe it aired in 1990, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a good while after the fact, but it's still, incredibly sad. But yeah, he didn't do nice things. He definitely brought them down.
Yeah, and it wasn't the 5 year. The FBI was like, oh, impersonating this is easy, 25 to life. Like it was instantly, they just forced him because he was a black man back in the 60s. They're like, yeah, your entire life's over. We're gonna put you in jail forever. You're gonna die in jail unless you do this for us. It wasn't like he had a simple choice. They were like ridiculously, obviously over the top to him to be like, you have to do this for us.
Yeah, it was like I would really recommend it, Josh. If you haven't seen this, you should watch this movie. It should be one that could be added to your long list of one day you'll watch.
Josh will watch it.
What do you mean by that? Just saying, some really good performances. Whatever. Anyways, time to assign new movies to each other. Since I went last, I'm gonna give my movie to Blake. Blake, this is one of those cases where I just gotta pull out the Thanos card and be like, yeah, not this time.
Huh? Bro, you don't. You don't have to do
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Dreaded.
Run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say?
You, sir, are being tasked to watch Challengers.
Oh.
What are we doing? Dude,
it's a good movie. I've seen good things about it.
Your sentence right there just proves. I've seen.
It's on Prime. It's on Prime. So you don't have to pay for it or nothing. And it's a Golden Globe winner. So there you go.
Lick my Golden Globes. I'm not fucking some dumbass tennis movie. Josh, man, I've thought long and hard about what movie to give you. And then Alex said that, and it really just made me think, do I be the only one to suffer? You know what I mean? Should I?
It's a good movie.
Is it fair? You haven't seen it. Shut up.
Why am I the victim?
Because I'm the victim.
No.
The drowning man will always try to save himself, bro.
It's good.
You should know about that. Well, actually, Alex should, because he tried to drown you with him.
Exactly.
I'm going to change my mind. I won't do that to you. I'm going to stick with the original plan. Training Day. Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Ethan Hawke.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
You haven't seen the movie? I know you.
How do you know?
I know
Maybe
you.
I have. Maybe
What
I
do you mean
have.
by
Oh, definitely have not seen that movie.
I know, Josh.
Definitely not seen that movie.
I know.
Okay, Alex, I know a movie you definitely haven't seen. If you said you have seen it, you're lying, and this will be the end of the channel. Okay,
That's what he
Just let
does.
you know right now.
That's
All right, I'm giving you Dinner in America.
The fuck is that?
Figure it out. Google it. Watch
Dinner
it.
in America.
That's your movie. No context.
Okay. Dinner in America. Okay. I thought
Just
you
know
were
I've seen it.
You have seen it.
I have.
I think that's going to do it for this video. As always, let us know in the comments below if you watched any of the movies that we just talked about. What your thoughts are of them are. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys in the next one.